right, we're playing e5. d4. All right, we got the scotch. Yeah, we had some nice pawns in the center in the last game. Knight takes d4, knight f6. Yeah, I did know someone with COVID who had like a serious case. To answer your question. Yeah, last I heard, I mean, cases were at like an all-time high in the US at least. So yeah. So we have a scotch 4 knights. Here we can play a lot of different ways. I always like the classical way, just bishop b4 pinning, and then advancing d5. Bishop g5. All right, let's just castle here. Bishop d3. So now typical move is d5 here, and if e5, we can play rook e8 and pin the pawn, and that'll give us time to deal with this attack. We can also start with h6. I often like throwing in h6 here to challenge the bishop, because then that always gives us the option to play g5 later. Not that we necessarily want to, but it's good to have the option. Okay, let's play d5. Just typical move, challenging the center, opening up the bishop. Now we have like bishop g4 ideas at some point. Okay, e5. Yeah, let's play, let's see, rook e8, f4. Gonna be really sharp. We can also play d4. Yeah, and we can start with g5. Although on takes, that looks kind of risky for us. So yeah, let's play rook e8. And then if white castles, we're just gonna take here. Okay, bishop takes f6. This was a possibility, but we can, I think we can take with the queen here. Hopefully we're not blundering anything. Pawn is still pinned, last I checked. And then we're gonna take this one next. Castles, yeah, now if we take with the queen, rook e1, we can actually just bail out into a nice endgame, but I think it's stronger actually just to take with the rook. I want to keep some attacking chances on the board here for black. Now the plan is to bring the bishop back to d6 and start looking at white's king side. So I think we're going to do this one. Our next move might be rook g5, rook h5, one of these two. And both bishops are kind of staring at the king side, so attacking chances feel pretty good here. Okay, so now rook h5 is clearly out. Don't want to do that one. We could play queen f4. Some ideas on h2. Maybe simplest move is just rook g5, hitting the knight and also threatening bishop h3. So rook g5, I think knight f3 is probably going to be the response. Then we can go bishop g4 maybe. Bishop e2. Take, queen f4, g3. Kind of defense. Could go rook g5, knight f3, rook h5. That actually feels pretty annoying. And then we're always threatening the h pawn. Yeah, let's do that. Although we weren't really threatening to take this one, right? Because of the discovered attack. Nevertheless, the knight is always kind of hanging. Okay, so knight here. This is also a move, but then after g3, not exactly sure what I want to do there. So let's go rook h5. Now we're just putting pressure. If h3, very, very likely that we're going to just sack and play for the attack there. That looks like that's going to be quite strong, like rook takes. Okay, g3. So this move weakens the light squares. So now we are looking to just attack on the light squares here. Maybe bishop h3, maybe bishop g4. Definitely white is going to go bishop e2 here. We can also just take this pawn at some point. I mean, it is kind of a free pawn. I don't think white really gets a lot for it. And we have another idea, maybe to play like c5, bishop b7 actually. Kind of interesting. Definitely grabbing this one, yeah, doesn't feel like it's in the spirit of the position, although objectively it's probably completely fine. Yeah, I'm gonna push c5 here. Also comes with kind of annoying threat to advance c4, kind of get our center pawns going. Okay, white goes c3. Now d4 is kind of the move we want to play. Yeah, let's play bishop. Now I'm totally second guessing because we can also go bishop g4, rook e8 on bishop e2, threatening to just take that one. That actually looks quite annoying. I'm just going to completely switch my mind and just play bishop g4 here because I just thought bishop e2 we're not really getting anywhere after rook f5, but rook e8 is a very, very annoying move here because we're just trying to take and take. And even on king g2 we can take on e2, queen takes e2, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, rook takes h2, and we win the queen. Takes, queen takes f3. There's our instructive combination of the game. Let's do it. So rook takes e2, queen takes, taking here, queen takes, rook takes h2 check, queen takes f3, and at the end we're gonna have queen and bishop for the two rooks. Okay, you can pre-move this one if you're playing bullet. Now I can try to fight on a little bit, but I think easiest way to kind of win this one is just advance the h-pawn and open up the king. This move is a little bit annoying, but I noticed that we have bishop takes g3 check as a tactic in response. King g1, bishop takes f2. So I'm going to play h5. Hey, DM Hoki, 5 gifted subs. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. DM Hoki, he helps us with our thumbnails. So Dojo MVP. And we're gonna take sorry, Super F21. I know. We do try to stream every Saturday and Sunday weekend, so you should be able to find us then. All right, now we're gonna take here. So kind of a double whammy, double removing the defender. That's gonna do it. Now some players in this kind of situation, what they'll do is they'll play queen takes rook, and just to like make life easier, but like I'm not a fan of this, guys. Just Don't be afraid. You have your queen. Just like use the queen. We're not worried about our pawns. Like we just need one pawn to win the game. So just use your queen, promote your pawn, and like game over. You know, if Rook starts taking pawns, like whatever. Queen is so much stronger. You know, and you can win the game so much faster. Thanks, DM. Yeah, much appreciated. Have a good one. Okay, he wants to go here, so maybe we'll just prevent that. Oh, we got a double attack. That's probably better. We'll take the rook. The rook is always hanging. Hey, STL chess player. How's it going? Is a piece up or exchange up more valuable? Good question. What do you guys think? Okay, Italian game. So I'm going to go with bishop c5. Bishop takes f7. Oh man. Oh, is this the famous, isn't this the famous Jerome gambit? Ah, I've heard of this one. I've heard of this one. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I just got to play against the Rosentrap just the other day. Just yesterday, actually. Now we get to face the Jerome gambit. Oh man, classic. All right, what are we gonna do here? Yeah, I think we're just going to give back the piece. King e6 is definitely not the only move here, because white has already sacrificed 2 pieces, so we can go here, take, and we're up a piece. So knight g6 is already totally fine for black. I'm wondering if I want to go for g6, queen takes e5, and then d6, or even queen e7 actually. Yeah, just sacrificing the rook. That would be fun, but I don't think it's really necessary. I think we should just take the extra piece and continue the game. Yeah, we can go king f8 here, for example, and give the knight. I think that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, because I really like the dark squared bishop. And g6, the only thing you have to watch out for is that your rook is hanging, so you got to be a little bit careful. Yeah, let's play king f8. There's a very famous game by Joseph Henry Blackburn where he goes g6, queen takes e5, d6, queen takes h8, queen h4, and he wins like a beautiful game. He ends up sacrificing the a8 rook as well. Yeah, objectively I think it's not super sound actually. So I wanted to keep it instructive. Yeah, the reason I don't like king e6 here, guys, is just like, I mean, it's just very risky. Even though we're 2 pieces up, like our king is kind of in the center, white's gonna have a lot of pawns. I'm sure it's probably good for black. Like I think black just has a lot of good options here, so my opinion is that it makes sense to just kind of play the practical move. Like, okay, 2 pieces is good, but I'd rather have 1 extra piece, but like a completely, like 0% chance I lose this, right? Like very, very safe position. So that's kind of just why I prefer this one. So yeah, let's take this tempo for our development. And now we're like ahead in development. We're like up a piece and ahead in development. So I think life is pretty good. The 2 pawns are just not really enough here for white. Now, does that mean you shouldn't play the Jerome Gambit? Don't get me wrong, guys. Jerome Gambit is great opening. But it might not be the best opening to play for a win. Okay, now I like the looks of queen f6 because either we trade queens or we're getting a tempo on f2. So white will have to deal with this one. He could play queen g3, but okay, he has to spend another move doing so. And then we can just kind of develop our pieces. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit generous to even call this a gambit, but this is it. Takes, check. So white sacrifices 2 pieces and then wins back 1. Okay, castles, that lets us trade the queens. I'm just gonna snap take, and now we got an endgame. Peace up. So life is good. We're just gonna kind of develop everything and slowly convert it. Arguably the simplest part of the game, but definitely not easy for most players, especially myself included. Winning a 1 position is like actually surprisingly difficult in so many cases. But this is winning enough that I think we can handle it. Yeah, the only good thing about the opening for white is that you keep black from castling, but other than that, it's like, you know, pretty sketchy. Bishop f4. Let's just get all of our pieces into the game. I want to just get the rook in, get the bishop in. Yeah, maybe we'll just develop this guy. Is it e6? Actually, you guys should watch that video on the ChessBra channel about Jerome's gambit. It is quite hilarious. Okay, e5. We can get a tempo maybe with knight d5. That looks nice. Let's do that. And then we just want to get our rooks in. Take f2. Does that work? Why would that work? Yeah. All right, so let's just bring in our pieces. c4. This invites the knight in, which looks pretty reasonable. We attack the c2 pawn, and then we also attack this one. So he defends d2, but allows us to take here. And that's gonna win. That's gonna win more material. Okay, takes on d6. Do we take a rook, or do we just calmly recapture? Yeah, let's just calmly recapture. Let's just try to simplify, trade everything off. This fork is not going anywhere. Okay, rook takes c6, and we'll just take. Next we can force a trade of rooks and just have extra rook in the position. Easy win. Next up is 90-30 speedrun. Absolutely. Alright, rook e8. Let's threaten checkmate. Darn, they saw it. I guess we'll have to win the game the normal way. Let's bring in our king. And we'll just start advancing our pawns. Alright, g4. Let's start just going after white's pawns. Let's fix this one, and then next we can go knight a1, knight takes b3. Why don't we just play d5? Let's just get the rook in. We'll just open some lines for the rook. And then we get this one. And yeah. Should be simple. Oh, we could have played 91, forcing the trade. That's a good point. That would have been very easy. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, totally agree. Okay, 92. Let's bring in our rook. Maybe 94 check. Rook is a lot of material. Very hard to come back down a rook. Okay, let's give this check. Now we'll bring our knight in. I'm gonna take this one. Do a little windmill. The important thing is just always be aware of the checks. Like, the only way this can go wrong, right, if you lose your rook to a fork, which happens, especially at this level, happens all the time. That's why my opponent is not wrong to play on here, because forks can happen. Like here, if the knight was in range of this one or this one, that would be bad. That would be pretty bad. So the important thing is just to be aware of the checks, and then you can avoid them. So yeah, we're giving up all the pawns here because I'm kind of tired of messing around, and I'm just gonna bring my king in and checkmate the guy. We're just gonna checkmate with rook, king, and knight. Knight is going here, the king is going here, and we're gonna have our mate. Yeah, I know, you guys would just take the pawns and like promote a bunch of queens. This is how a real chess player ends the game. You just use the pieces you have. What's with this extra promotion nonsense? In my day, there was no promotion. You were stuck with the pieces that you were granted with. That was it. You guys don't know what it was like. We didn't have extra pieces, so that was, you promoted a pawn and just stayed there. Just stayed on the 8th rank. I think that's Lima. All right, e4, we're playing e5 in the speed run. Working our way up. Italian game, we'll go bishop c5. No, Daster, if you take the knight in that position, there's queen g5 check. And there'll be mate. Or even just gf, I was thinking. I didn't even see the mate. I was just gonna play gf and get the open g file. And that would have been bad too. Yeah. Okay, c3, classic Joko piano. I'm gonna play queen e7 here. This is specifically for Neil Bruce. He was trash talking this move. He said this move and anyone who plays it is terrible. And I actually think it's not a bad move. So we're gonna go with it. All right, b4. a4. All right, we're definitely gonna stop this threat of a5. So let's play here. And on b5, I think we're gonna bring this knight back to d8. And then on bishop a3, we're gonna play d6. We're gonna shut it down. All right, guys, new prediction up. New prediction up for the next game. This one was a doozy last time. Yeah, I can play the real mainline Italian knight f6 next, for sure. Yeah, I mean, this was Alekine's favorite. Alekine was a big fan of this one, and he would often just put the knight on d8 eventually. This knight would come out to f6, d6, and then this knight often comes out to f7. Okay, so d4. Sharp move. So if we go d6 here, then takes, bishop a3, bishop c5. It's a little bit weird. What happens if we take? Because this pawn on e4 is kind of hanging. Yeah, I think we got to take this one. I mean, this is kind of the whole point of queen e7, and we get to take this pawn with check. So white here is being really bold. But I am not sure if this is really going to work out, because take if king f1, I'm just going to bring the knight out to e6 and cover the e-file. And if king d2, again, knight e6, and I don't think white really gets enough play with rook e1. But who knows, it's going to be sharp. Well, let's take this one. Yeah, like king d2 is, it's like a fun move. Like, okay, I cover the threat, and then knight g5, of course, we just take here, and I mean, white's position collapses. Totally collapses. You might even be able to take on g5. Rook e1, knight f6, just sack the queen and just have like fantastic position with the pieces. So bishop e3. Okay, now we just mainly want to develop here. So I'm thinking about knight f6 first, because there's no threat to our queen, and I just want to castle, use our extra pawn. We can also play d5, kind of inviting bishop back to d3, but I'm not sure if we really need this move right now. So let's just go knight f6. And thankfully, knight on d8 defends this one. Okay, knight e2, good move. Hitting the queen. But this one, we get hit with some maybe annoying knight h4s, queen g4. It doesn't seem that annoying, actually. But we can also play queen e7. Which I think is going to be more... I think this is going to be more harmonious for our position. I want to go d5 and castle. Have I already done the obligatory I play versus Beth Carmen stream? No, I haven't, guys. Should I do that tonight? Is that the thing that I should do tonight? Is that something you would want to see? Me playing against an engine. Playing against the bot. Okay, we could castle here. But here I actually want this tempo first. I want this tempo. And then we'll castle and knight will come out to e6, and I think we have a reasonable position. Actually, we can even develop bishop g4 here. There's no one saying we have to castle right away. And then on rook e1, we can go knight e6, and then we didn't block our bishop. Yeah, that looks great. Let's do that. Because we got the e-file covered. We're okay here. We're gonna go knight e6. Okay, there's a pull up. Good. Should Kostya play Beth Harmon? And I will respect the results of the duel. I mean the poll. Okay, bishop g5. Let's play knight e6. This is what we wanted. Very important to cover the e-file, of course. And now I think we're just going to castle finally and get out of dodge. Okay, what's our next move here? Maybe Queen Samara h3. I think we're just gonna bring this bishop back. If white wants to go g4, then we'll bring it back to g6, no problem. And we'll argue that this is a weakness for white. A 15-year-old Harmon maybe mate knight and bishop. That's hilarious. Good. Queen c2. Well, now our bishop is not really doing so much, so let's play bishop g6. Wow, bishop and knight, 1300. That's pretty good. Most 1300s would have no idea, like 0. So what I like about this one actually is that if white takes, we get hg, then I can just like move my queen somewhere because bishop f6, gf6, my pawns are still intact. Whereas the structure as is, if we go queen d6, then we have to be a little bit annoyed by the double pawns. Although I would say even these are not the worst thing in the world, because we do kind of get this f4 square, so it's kind of double-edged for us. The king will go to g7, and actually we're pretty safe there. I mean, I really might do this. Oh man, you guys voted yes? Okay, I guess we'll check in on the round robin game after this, and then we'll play Beth Harmon. Oh yeah, I gotta do one more game after this for the prediction. A pawn versus H pawn. That's next game. All right, knight b3. Played after a long think. You know what? I'm gonna go with this idea. Actually, I think I'm in the spirit of breaking rules. And this pin is pretty annoying. Yeah, let's go queen d6. Let's unpin. And then on bishop f6, we'll go gf. And we'll take control over the e5 square. And then we'll try to play knight f4 here and get white to take on g6 so we can go hg and fix our structure. But even if we don't get this, I'm not so worried here as black. I got king h8, I got rook g8. We have problems, but the double pawns are not one of them. All right, rook c1. I think knight f4 here can be played. Just hitting the bishop. Would be a shame though. I was looking forward to using that g file. Usually king h8, rook g8 anyway. I could take, go king h8. But now that seems a little risky. Yeah, let's stick to classical principles here. We'll try to keep our structure solid. No guys, I'm playing all 1d4. I'm sticking to my moves no matter what the prediction is or what the bets are. I am not influenced by the bookie in any way. All right, so now we want rook a8, takes hg, king g7. Solid moves. And yeah, I do want to take this way, not this way, because I want to take towards the center and keep more pawns facing the center. These are the most important squares. And in fact, we might have a future where we use the h file, like king g7, rook h8, you know, some sacrifices, queen d7, take. Could get dangerous. Okay, knight c5. This pawn is a little bit annoying, so I think we'll go ahead and defend this one. We had one archmage yesterday. We had one. Queen d2. Okay, I don't want to do anything too special here. Nothing seems to be hanging, so let's just go king g7 and just improve our position. Getting extorted. Knight h4. Okay. So this move really invites us to just play rook h8 and attack the knight. And yeah, it feels like white wasn't really sure what to do at this point, which is fair because white didn't really have such a nice position anyway. Not a lot of useful moves. But let's go here. Let's just, I mean, this is where the rook wanted to go. We can just put a little bit of pressure, and now we get this move for free. So we're good here. And then if knight comes back to f3, we can definitely consider sacking. Takes, rook takes, king g2. And then second rook comes in. It's certainly dangerous, but it's not clear if that's going to be winning. So yeah, I don't know if we really have to risk it after knight f3. I think we might just look for a quieter move there. Rook e7. Wow. Is there some take knight f5 check? I don't think so. No, I think white is just panicking because they're running out of time. So we can take some stuff here. We can take the knight, we can take the rook. So takes, queen takes f4, then g5, knight f5. King moves, takes. I mean, that's kind of okay. I think we can also just take the rook here, or take the knight. And then on knight e6, we have this one covered. And if queen takes, rook takes. So I think, yeah, we'll just grab this one. Maybe there's rook d7. Let's just double check this real quick. Rook d7. Queen moves f8. Yeah, we're okay there.
It really does sound like a good point. What a beautiful sound you get out of it. That's really something. It has a range to low A and up to high G.
You can also take and then take here, actually. Oh, that's even better. I mean, white is flagging, so it doesn't really matter too much, but I do like that this D is working. First, we can go here also, and we're fine. But I like that we can take, and then we have 3 pieces for the queen and totally winning position. Let's do it. Let's be instructive. GG.